Okay, kids, here's your test review 1 companion video for algebra. Oh, Lecomte fail. Lecomte fail. It's not a pre-algebra test, it's an algebra test. But Kitty is still cute and obviously clearly freaked out. So I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to start doing these problems. So do the problems yourself first. You have your copy, and then watch the video for the solutions and work-throughs if you need them. Here we go. All right, so the first section is translating expressions. Let's do the work. And there you have it. So we start off with the sum of 15 and x, so 15 plus x, the quantity. The sum of, put it in parentheses, then plus 7. Doesn't change the meaning of it, but I wanted to work on thinking about that sum of as something that we need to put in parentheses here. The quotient of 12 and the product of 5 and t. So the quotient of two things goes from top to bottom, top divided by bottom. So the quotient of 12 and the product of 5 and t is 12 over 5t. The cube root of the product of 6 and a number. So a cube root with the 3 out here as an index, and it's the product of 6 and a number on the inside. All right, next section. Okay, simplifying expressions. So we're combining like terms. And there we go. Number 4. We're combining like terms. Negative 3y and positive 5y is like adding negative 3 and 5 and then tacking the y back on. 7 and minus 9, a plus 7 and a minus 9 is like adding the integers positive 7 and negative 9, and we get a negative 2 or minus 2, so 2y minus 2. Over here, we're distributing. Minus 4 times x, or negative 4 times x, is negative 4x. Negative 4 times a positive 7 is negative 28 or minus 28. Get out of the habit of having two operation symbols in a row. We don't need plus negative. Minus 28 is good enough. Here we use the distributive property twice. The first time, 5 times n and 5 times 2 for 5n plus 10. The second time, minus 4 times n for minus 4n, and minus 4 times minus 3 to give you a positive 12. Not plausitive, but positive 12. Combine like terms, 5n minus 4n is n, 10 and 12 is 22, n plus 22. On to the next part. Okay, for this section, we have to make a correction, and I will make it on your sheets, but I haven't made it yet in the video. We're going to make it 3p plus 7. All right, so now we'll go ahead and give these a try. And here we go. So we've got negative 3p plus 7, plug in the 5 for p, multiply negative 15 plus 7, negative 8. 2p over 4q. Now this is one where I could simplify here first to make this 1/2, but I chose instead to just do it straight, so I plugged in the 5 and the negative 3. We get 10 on the top, negative 12 on the bottom. Simplify, negative 5/6. Here we have a negative sign on the outside, the math to do on the inside, and then we're squaring it. So 2 times p, or 2 times 5, which is 10. 10 squared is 100. Tack the negative sign on afterwards because it was outside the parentheses. And what operation, or what property, are we using over and over again? The substitution property. Onward. Identify each property. I'm going to go straight through and do these and don't even need to pause it. I'm going to go ahead and write them out. So here I see the value flipped around the equal sign. If a equals 4, then 4 equals a. You only have two if-then properties. When I say if-then, I mean they actually have an if-then in them. And one of them is the symmetric property, and that's the one we're looking at here. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to move that on you. The symmetric property. Think about the symmetry around the equal sign. If it was symmetric, we can flip it, and we flipped it in the sentence. If a equals 4, then 4 equals a is our symmetric property. And this next one, think we didn't change g. G didn't change even when we added 0. Its identity did not change, and the identity property of addition. And number 13, we can see here we have a change in grouping, but no change in order. ABC, ABC. We have a change in grouping. That's our associative property of multiplication. Remember to identify which one. Please excuse the terrible writing. I'll explain why when I see you in class next. Next page, or I should say next section. Solve each equation. Let me go through and work them out, and then we'll take a look. And I love how they just snap into view like that. So, first one, combine your like terms. A plus A, 2A. Subtract first to get rid of the 2. Divide second. I didn't actually show that. I divided by 2 here, just so we understand. Go back and plug in the 10 to check it. It does indeed work. Here, while you could have distributed, I noticed immediately 64 and 8, both divisible by 8. So I divided that off, made the problem so much easier and faster. Plug the 6 in, we do indeed get a true statement. Here with the big fraction, we got to get rid of that divide by -2 first. So we do that by multiplying both sides by the -2. So multiply both sides by -2, eliminate the fraction, work your way backwards through that order of operations, divide, solve. Check here. Awesome. Only a couple of questions left. All right, I'm going to pause this. I want you to work on writing an equation for each one. We're not going to solve them, just write them. And here they are. So we can see why we're not going to solve them. We're not equipped to solve quadratic equations yet. That's what an x squared equation is. And we haven't talked about or reviewed solving equations with variables on both sides, so I'm not worried about that. I am worried about the translating. 4 times the square of a number is 4x squared. Plus 7 is your equal sign, and then your 12. 8 less than is -8. 8 less than what? 8 less than twice a number is the same as, might as well just say is, it is equal to 4 times the number. 2 word problems, and your test review is over. Start keeping track of what you need to go over for yourself before the test. All right, let's write equations and solve these 2. And here we have it. So let's look through the questions and look at the equations. The perimeter of a rectangle is 36 inches. If the length of the rectangle is twice the width, find the length of the rectangle. So, here's our rectangle, and we talked about defining a variable by drawing a picture. We know our width is 1 value and our length is twice as long. I now add all 4 sides of the rectangle together and set it equal to 36. Combining like terms, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x together. I divide to solve, and x equals 6. I go back to my image, my drawing, and I look, well, if x is 6, what's 2x? Well, it's 2 times 6, which is 12 inches. And the length of the rectangle is 12 inches. In the second problem, find 3 consecutive even integers if their sum is 48. The 3 values are x, x plus 2, and x plus 4, because even numbers are 2 apart. We combine them to find their sum by adding all those expressions together and setting it equal to 48. So x plus x plus x is 3x, 2 plus 4 is 6. We solve the equation. The first number is 14, the second is 16, and the third is 18. And that covers your test review. Now let's talk about how you study. Well, the truth is, study, that refers to vocab, that refers to properties. It does not refer to the actual doing math. The word that you want here is practice. We talked about that in the first couple of days of school. Look at your IXL options, look at your Khan Academy options, and tell me what you need help with by email, and I will give you ideas on what to study. Please excuse my broken writing. I'll explain why it's broken in class, and I'll see you guys in class.